only being a few episodes away, it's student election time. From the look of Zack's hair, I'm suddenly beginning to realize that these episodes are out of order. Jesse is running for school president, and since she is the only one who bears that first name, I'm guessing she's thinking she's too good enough to identify with the common man, whom she only looks down as her peons. After all, to her, you're wasting your votes on someone who doesn't care about you. Your beliefs will not be represented, for you silenced your voice so hers can be louder.
I care about the student body.
So vote your conscience, not her politics.
This is important to me. My mother got involved in the 60s and she made such a difference.
Guess the Spano family, they like their government, like feminists like their voters. Weakened to the point of only being able to perform basic functions. Well, with all the nameless extras flocking around, who needs name tags, right? Zack scoffs at the elections because any Dudley Do-Right wanting to make a difference in anyone's life but their own is for geeks and nerds.
As for me, I only run for buses, blondes, and brunettes.
Entering in the hallway is Mr. Dewey, another one of Saved by the Bell's reoccurring teachers. Mr. Dewey serves as the faculty advisor for the student body. Now what you should be paying attention to here is a very young Grandmaster Sexy extra between Zack and Mr. Dewey, who is doing his absolute best to pretend to talk to that one extra, all while the lightly talking, nodding, smiling, just being too cool for school. Now we know why they never see the light of the foreground and are relegated to the position of studio gophers. Zack overhears that the winner of the next election will earn a surprise week trip to Washington, D.C., and suddenly he's ROCK in the USA.
Free trip to Washington? No school for a week? I think it's time to get involved and give something back.
The announcement of Zack running against Jesse has many in disbelief. But what was said during their campaign speeches, well, I will leave that up to your imagination, as it probably went like this. Jesse, girl power, save the whales, save the dolls, flush big government control and spending out of my anus. Zack, do we have a rebuttal? Zack? Zack? Bueller? Oh, sorry. Finished already? Hey, I'm Zack Morris. Love me, worship me, slave for me, vote for me.
Who? Zack?
Morris?
He's good for America!
Jesse pop smacks the question as to which candidate he is backing because after all, you don't bite the hand of the free meals that feed you. Max honestly reveals that Jesse is a dick while also displaying Zack's face right about near his third leg. I'm guessing Zack's packing some major heat. Lisa wants to appoint her services as Jesse's campaign manager, and since Lisa pretty much has every brown-noser schoolboy paparazzi in her back pocket, she figures this might be useful to level the playing field against the Zack Morris administration.
I know you think I'm about as deep as a frisbee. But Jesse, there's a lot more than you realize underneath this adorable exterior.
Now, Kelly, on the other hand, takes matters into more practical terms, for she will not reveal what candidate she is backing until she hears both sides.
Fair? What does fair have to do with it? We are women. We go to the bathroom together. We vote together.
Voting. It's like choosing your favorite mosquito out of a swarm. Zack reveals to be the first likely to rat, Screech to go to his mom's travel agency and grab brochures on everything on Washington, D.C.
Okay, and Zack, don't worry, I won't tell my mom what city they're for.
I had some morals, but then I sold them for money. If Spano is everyone's mano, then she talks Slater into it so that she can show him who got the biggest balls of them all.
What would the world be like if a woman ran it? Less violent and color coordinated?
Then she'd fuck Zack and steal the top spot.
Think Zach's up to something?
He's awake, isn't he?
Later in that day, Slater and Screech run into each other, and Screech drops a full load of Washington, D.C. brochures and Zack's political agenda all in one sitting.
I'm on a secret political mission, and Zack would kill me if I told you these were for him.
Wow, do you always suck this bad in bed as you do with the rest of your life?
How did you know? Who squealed?
You couldn't conserve Zack's intentions for 1 minute.
Zack somehow found out that the winner of the election goes on a trip to Washington. Let me down.
After Slater finds Mr. Belding in this disturbing condition, he wishes him a good time in Washington, D.C., thus foiling the ploy by getting students involved in politics.
Are you saying that Zack would run just to get out of school and miss homework? So he could party his brains out?
Belding may be the wisest Jedi that ever lived, but his mind would be blown by a flashlight. Back in Mr. Dewey's classroom, Zack prepares a campaign video, and like most American campaign videos at the time, were all propaganda. Zack claims himself to be a true patriot, putting himself in the upper echelons of presidents from Washington, Jefferson to Lincoln, and even includes some toddler and random outdated funky 70s haircuts. Zack even has the support of Rocky Balboa's cardboard cutout.
Kind of funny, don't you think?
This is turning out to be a wreck. And, like a virgin, he feels he has been blessed with John F. Kennedy-like charm for the very first time. Not to mention George H.W. Bush and Lassie. Zacky boy, please come back home to reality. And if only this was Screech biting the dust, perhaps he would be more likable. Even 9 out of 10 Soviet socialists back Zack Morris. Then again, communist jokes and references aren't very funny, Mr. Morris, if you don't intend on sharing your political wealth with the rest of the leaders of the Soviet Roundtable. Kelly speaks out that Zack's propaganda tape is the shits, and now she shifts her vote to Jesse.
I'm now leaning toward Jessica Myrtle.
Could you just please lean to my first name?
Mr. Belding swoops on by to notify Zack Morris that he knows that Zack knows about the DC trip and is therefore pulling the plug out of the funding.
But hey, we'll still have loads of laughs at those after-school and weekend meetings. We're gonna be buddies.
Zack Morris declares that the only way out of this political boxing match is to let his true sleazy colors shine and admit defeat.
Zack, the latest poll has you 70%, Jesse 30. You can't lose.
Way to go, Zack. Or should I say, President Morris?
Slater, Lisa, and Kelly plead with Jesse to either change her image to work her way back into the race is for a personality.
Now I'm gonna tell you this as gently as I can. You're going down the toilet.
You are Flush City.
I mean, Jesse's great, but just missing charisma, humility, sense of humor, etc., etc.
You're gonna go down in history with George McGovern, Walter Mondale, and the Cleveland Indians.
There's more honey, less vinegar, because your shit is rank, Spano. The final scene bizarrely occurs back again in Mr. Dewey's room because I'm guessing an auditorium would have put them over budget. Zack Morris is feeling the burn in Bernie Sanders and wishes to take a few cues out of Sanders' socialist playbook by imposing his own imperialist dictatorial-like demands.
I love this school. Hey, and I love it so much that I propose extending the school date to 12 hours, doing away with holidays and weekends.
That's not until Zack's final debate speech is interrupted by Alicia Silverstone and Clueless, whom Jesse grants bubblegum wishes and soda pop dreams of trips to the mall, party, 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 and other anti-socialist behavior that 80s kids crave, which include, you guessed it, no homework.
And now, the awesome one, detention will be for teachers instead of students.
Far out, man. Zack Morris enlists Screech to create a smear campaign. You know, to create sympathy for his little devil, with rumors such as Zack takes ballet lessons.
But it hurts. I was kind of hoping you to point me first dweeb.
Screech, you'll always be first dweeb.
You might as well make a toast, Zack, to all the people who disagree with your dirty politics, but haven't unfriended you. Yet. Back in Spano HQ, Kelly is taking one for the team. And I mean literally, by whoring out her votes for Jesse, including her in a 8-man tag team on Friday, if they voted for her.
That's a Kodak moment.
She's going out for political thrills on that crazy train.
Hot dog.
The nerds, however, basically have a laughgasm as they react to a doctored up nerd photo of Zack that proves like, what if Zack was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus. The next day, the votes for the next student president are in as Zack wins by a nose, by 1 vote over Jesse Spano. Not to mention flattening the rest of the must-see TV lineup from Jason Bateman, Alf, Gilligan, and the skipper too. I didn't know this political bait turned into a rating war. Mr. Belding offers his sincerest congrats to Zack and plays possum with him, revealing that the trip was never canceled, for he wanted to see if he wasn't hiding out as a selfish little shit. Zack gives in and confesses because he doesn't approve of political jokes, and by golly, he has seen too many like himself get elected and opts out of the position.
Am I hearing what I think I'm hearing?
Jesse then presents Zack with a peace offering, Zack's teddy bear, as a way for them to get even where everything is resolved with a hug, a kiss. Okay, maybe not, but with a declaration that they will be friends forever, even if Jesse has to downgrade her moral standards to a backstabbing stripper in a shitty NC-17 rated film.
What?
You see, people, I know some people are not happy with Zack because he's not so good. But few people surely do love him because they know that the little goodness in him is not fake news. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.